What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about used paramotor equipment. The reason I want to talk about this is because I have a lot of people coming to me saying, oh, I just bought that 1980 used eBay special and I think it's going to work absolutely great. The reality is there's some gear out there that's great and some gear out there that is not so great. And it's really important that you know the difference before you go buying some used gear off of the marketplace. There are two main things that you need to fly a paramotor. The first one is the paramotor and engine itself. The second one is the glider that flies above your head. I want to talk about the two of these in more depth, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Let's start out with the motor and frame. It's really important when you're purchasing one of those that you find something that is still in business and it's not made back in the 1980s or 90s. When you end up breaking apart on one of these, if it's a motor that's not made anymore, you're going to have a really difficult time finding parts. So you want to make sure that it's something that's readily available and still on the market today. Also, with the modern paramotors that are on the market today, they have so many features built into them that the old ones on the market, a decade ago did not have. As far as torque, ground comfort, and maneuverability, they have come a long way. Flying or buying something from 10 years ago is going to be a totally different scenario than buying something and flying it in today's standard. Modern paramotors come with something called swing arms, which enables you to manipulate the wing just by using weight shift. Also, with those swing arms, as you're going through turbulence, it moves with the wing, allowing it to kind of dance up and down. So it's really important that you're not flying something with a fixed hook-in point or a high fabric hook-in point that they used to use 10 or 15, even 20 years ago. Another thing to pay attention to is how heavy these paramotors are. A modern paramotor is about anywhere between 40 and 60 pounds and made out of either aluminum or titanium. The reason this is because titanium is very durable, and if it does bend, you can bend it back without compromising the durability of it. Older paramotors can range from 70 all the way up to sometimes even 100 pounds dry. And even though the newer paramotors still seem like they might be a little bit heavy, they've designed them to where the weight distribution when it's on your back feels actually super comfortable when you're on the ground. All right, now let's talk about gliders. There are a handful of things that you really need to know before you purchase your first glider. The first thing I want to talk about is what the wing is made and designed to do. A paramotor wing is designed to be launched from flat ground, being pushed by the paramotor, which means it requires little to no wind to get into the air. They are made to be efficient, fast, and safe underneath of a paramotor. What I'm trying to get at here is if you're online researching to buy your first paramotor wing, you need to make sure to do your research because there's paramotoring and there's paragliding. And paragliding wings and paramotoring wings are two different things. A paragliding wing is used to launch from the tops of mountains, usually with wind, whereas a paramotor wing needs little to no wind and it is being pushed through the air by a paramotor. So make sure to know the difference between the two. The next thing I want to talk about is glider size. Most of the modern wing manufacturers make it fairly easy for us to figure out exactly what wing suits us perfectly. You need to find your all-up weight, which includes you, your paramotor, your wing, and your fuel. After you find that, you want to translate that into kilograms, and that is your all-up weight. And then take that, find the wing that you want to get, and it's usually best to put yourself right in the middle of that weight range, and that's the wing that you want. And the third and final thing I want to talk to when it comes to wings, guys, this is probably the most important thing I'm going to talk about, is when purchasing a used wing, you never know what the backstory is on these things. And it's very important to be able to tell if this thing is even airworthy in the beginning. So if you're getting something brand new, it's not really anything to worry about. But when you're going on eBay or going on Marketplace or paramotor things for sale, you'd like to think that everybody's being honest with you, but that's not always the case. So before you agree to make this purchase, ask for an inspection. Have this person send it off, get inspected first, especially if this wing's more than 5 or 6 years old, because fabric degrades, lines get stretched, and then the glider can eventually come out of trim. and which would render it basically useless. So you need to make sure that they've had a current inspection, ask for that, and make sure that you can see the proof before you purchase it. That way you know what you're getting, you know what you're getting into, and you know that this glider is going to be safe for you. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, blue skies, be safe, and I'll see you on the next one.